Hello and welcome to another week of Andy's Bible study. I'm grateful to be here as always, and I hope everybody's doing well. I'm recording this on a Sunday afternoon, and it's kind of dark outside and a little bit of wind, and everything's wet, but it's not currently raining. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I really wish the sun would come out. I wish the sun would come out. And sometimes in life, um, we just want to see the sun. We just want to feel the warmth. We want to feel maybe the hug of a loved one. I was thinking about my mom and dad, and I've only seen my mom and dad once in 2000, since January 1st, 2020, and we're going in February of 2021. So I'm kind of missing my family. My sister, who lives in California, I haven't seen her in well over a year. And so I'm thinking about them today. And I don't want to start out on a downer note, but I was just thinking about them and thinking about the weather. And I don't know, sometimes it's just, it's hard when you miss your friends. It's hard when you miss your family and you want to see people that love you. And of course, I get to see my wife. I get to see my 7-year old. Get to see my almost 2-year old now, which I can't believe he's almost two. Um, and I love seeing my kids. But yeah, just think about the things that I'm missing today, and I'm not missing them so much as missing the love of giving them a hug and laughing with them in person, not just on a computer screen. So I was just reflecting on how often we need love. We need people that love us. We need people to show us love, and I think this, as I thought about the holiday, February 14th, being all about love and romance, but there's also, I think, a lot of love to go around for non romance as well, just friendship and parenting and just your friends. Um, and I think Jesus has a lot of love for us, no matter where you are at in this pandemic, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, no matter what job you're doing or not doing. I believe Jesus has love for you. So I wanted to read a story about a Gentile woman, and specifically the faith of a Gentile woman that comes from Matthew 15. And for me, I feel like it's a story I don't read very often, and so this one caught my attention this morning. So we're gonna dive into it. It says, leaving the place, Jesus withdrew to a region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman, or a Gentile woman, from that vicinity came out crying to her, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is suffering terribly from demon possession. Jesus did not answer her word, so his disciples came and urged him, send her away, for she keeps crying out for us. He answered, I was sent only for the lost sheep of Israel. The woman came and knelt before him. Lord, help me. He replied, it is not right to take children's bread and toss it to the dogs. Yet, Lord, she said, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Then Jesus answered, yes, woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted. And her daughter was healed from that very time. So, Jesus says that he came for the lost sheep of Israel, but this is a Gentile woman. Jesus says that, um, you know, this idea of, is it right to give children's bread to dogs? And she says, even dogs get the crumbs that fall off the master's table. So she's kind of not questioning Jesus, but I think just having dialogue with Jesus in a confident way. And then he said, because of your great faith, your request has been granted. I think we often talk about having faith in God, and that's important to have faith in God. But I don't think we always talk about God rewarding us for the faith that we have in Him or God having faith in us. The writer of Hebrews said, faith is what we hope for but do not see. Faith is about believing and not seeing. We walk by faith, not by sight or what we see. And so faith is kind of this concept that's, um, like the wind. We see the effects of it, but we don't see the wind. And so faith has all these different things of what faith is. But ultimately, faith is about um, I think it is about hope for a better day, a better future, and also I think hope for the current situation. It's about having a confidence that God will be with you. And in this story, this woman is confident and has faith that Jesus will heal her daughter. And, being in the book of Matthew, a lot of people think the book of Matthew was written more for Jewish people, but we see a lot of stories of Gentiles that believe in the book of Matthew. And so I don't think the book of Matthew is just written for the Jewish people, but written for people like myself, a Gentile, a non Jewish follower of Jesus. Um, the disciples here kind of want to get rid of this Jewish woman and say, send her away. She keeps crying after us. So we know that she was so persistent that the disciples noticed her persistence. We know that she believed in the power of God, but she also knew, hey, I have to make my point. I'm going to have to be persistent. I'm going to have to use my voice. I'm going to have to be assertive. And so, one of the things about faith is you believe in God, but you also act like you believe in God. There's actions. Faith without works is dead. The writer of or James tells us in his book. And so this woman lives out her faith with her actions. She has deeds that go with her belief system. And I think so often I have to remember to put my words into action, just like this woman put her words into action. Do I believe that God can bring healing to the sick? Do I believe that God can bring healing to those that are poor or bring um, safety or financial security to those that are poor? Do I believe that God loves me? Do I believe that God loves my children? These are all things that I can have that belief, but I have to put them into action. Just like with my marriage, with my parenting, I can say, "Hey, I love you," but if I'm not showing my love, I don't think they're gonna believe me. And I think it goes that way with our faith too. Hey, I care about the poor. Well, what are you doing for them? Hey, I care about those that are sick. Well, what are you doing for those that are sick? Hey, I care about bringing unity and healing and restorative justice to my community. Okay, what am I doing about it? Faith without works is nothing. And so I think this woman is so persistent, the disciples notice her. She's so persistent and so faithful in her actions that Jesus says, your faith, and I think yeah, woman, you have great faith. So he's saying, not only do you have faith, you have great faith, an abundance of faith. And then the daughter is healed right there in that moment, in that time. And I think so often I don't believe that God can really do amazing things. That God, I rely so much on myself, or I rely so much on others, or I rely maybe on chance. Do I really rely on God being able to bring about the answer, the healing, the security? Do I believe that God can make me well? And like I said before, like this is in a Gentile region. And so we see that Jesus came for the Jews and the Gentiles. And that's just something that I think often we think, Jesus died for the Christians. Well, Jesus died for the Christians and the non Christians. Jesus died for those who will believe and those who won't believe. Jesus died for those that are his enemies. When Jesus says, love your enemies, well, he showed us how to love our enemies. He showed us how to love the Samaritans, the women, the poor, the crippled, the blind. Jesus loved all of these people that were outsiders, people that were, maybe by some people in the Jewish faith or in the church, they felt like, didn't deserve God's love. And I can do that too. I can be like, oh, I'm so mad at this person. Well, Jesus died for that person that I'm mad at. And Jesus showed them love even when I don't want to show them love. And so when I let the Bible start teaching me that and let Jesus start teaching me that, then it affects um, my heart. And I think about how my parents often, you know, loved people in our community. There was a Muslim family in our neighborhood, and we had like a competition, a sports competition, and I took second place, and my friend, part of this family, took first place. But then he asked my family for a ride, and so it was this really interesting thing where if my parents had said no, then I would have got to compete in the competition. Um, but if his mom or dad said yes, then he got to compete. And I remember we decided to take him. They didn't really ask me, but my parents decided to take him, and we all cheered him on and had signs that said "Go Summy," I hope you do well. And so I didn't get to compete, but I watched him, and I think about that a lot as an example of putting others before yourself or loving your enemies. Well, he wasn't an enemy, I'm sorry, but just loving the others, loving people, loving your neighbors as yourself. And so my parents really did that. And I remember that example fairly well. Looking back all these years, that was probably like third or fourth grade. And so, you know, we have to live out our faith. And I think it's really difficult sometimes to do that. I think we downplay what it's like to have confidence because, when I look outside and it's gray and dark, I can feel sad. I can feel like, okay, God, where are you? Why am I feeling so crummy today? Why do I have, friends that are sick? Why do I have, financial stress? Why do I have anxiety? Health concerns for family members. Why me? Why me? And the truth is, we're all going through something. Maybe we're not going through something today, but we went through something yesterday. We're going to go through something tomorrow. The human experience is connected through pain and suffering and resiliency. And I think that God models this when we see this woman who has a sick child. She's leaving that sick child to go because she has faith with Jesus that Jesus can heal this child. So she had to love her child enough to kind of leave her side for, I guess, I don't know how long the journey took, but at least for some period. And there's oftentimes we have to let go of something to pursue something else to bring us back to where we need to go. There's things we need to let go of and let God take care of. And that is so hard to do. And I think we downplay how difficult it is to let go of some things. Maybe let go of things we believe about ourselves. Maybe let go of things we believe about our family members or our friends or our government or whatever it is, our church. We have to let go of things and realize God got this. God's got this. God can take care of this. God is bigger than my problems. And it's such a, maybe a saying that we're used to saying, like, God's, you have a bigger God than your problems. But I just think we need those reminders of letting go and let God work, that I move out of the way, that I pray, that I do my actions, that I have faith, but I have faith in God. I don't have faith in myself that I'm going to fix it. Um, so I hope there's something in there that brings encouragement. Again, this is from Matthew 15. Matthew 15, the faith of the Gentile woman. So I just encourage you to have faith this week. I encourage you to live and love and let go and let God. I encourage you to realize God is bigger than whatever you're going through. God can handle the difficulties, so lift them up to God. So I do pray for hope. I pray for peace. I pray for confidence. I pray for your faith. I pray for those in your families, those that are friends. I pray for those that are in need, those that are sick, those that are struggling at this time. And I pray that we will have great faith, just like this woman had in this story, that we will have great faith. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week. God bless.